and welcome to What's Your News. Today we'll be debating the question, what have you learned from your audience feedback? We received audience feedback on our promotional package at every stage from... Mum, not now. I'm filming. Mum, no. Yep. Shepherd's pie's fine. Yep. Okay. But Mum, bye. Sorry about that. We received audience feedback on our promotional package at every stage, from planning to post-production. We received this feedback in a range of ways, with surveys, focus groups, and trial viewings where feedback was given. An element of feedback given in the trial viewings was on the poster. Numerous responses suggested that the image of the protagonist was too bold, against the cloud background, and that it was evident the image had been photoshopped. I was tasked with correcting this. I altered the brightness of the image to make it brighter and less saturated with a lower contrast. This made the image to appear to be of the same tone as the background, and the poster looked overall more cohesive. In addition to this, audience feedback in the trial viewing suggested that the framing of certain aspects of the poster could be altered. One example of this was the positioning of the review and the stars. The feedback stated that the alignment should be more central for each of the components. So in response, I used the transform tool in Photoshop to alter the positioning of the stars and review around the image of Siobhan so it was more centrally aligned. For more on this topic, we have Tia Walby. Hello, Tia.
Hi, Charlotte.
So what do you have to say in response to the question, what have you learned from your audience feedback?
Our audience feedback was incredibly useful, Charlotte, in helping us to improve certain aspects of the poster and the website. For the poster, we increased the amount of negative space by editing the image of our main protagonist to blend her in with the clouds, which we had chosen as the dominant background image. I used the golden rule on the poster after our audience feedback suggested that was too much blank space. We did this by strategically placing the image, typography, tagline, and critics' reviews around the page, so that the viewer would have to look at all areas on the poster. This also worked well with the cloud image as our background, as this meant there was little white space on the poster. Similarly, for our website, I took the feedback from the audience on board and responded to it, particularly regarding the spacing on the website. The changes that we made ensured that the website looked professional, but was also user-friendly. I inserted hyperlinked buttons onto the pages of the website and placed these at the top so that they were easily accessible to the user. I also moved the social media links to the right side of the page so they were always visible. Each social media link directed the user to the relevant social media page. Across both products, we used the same background image of the clouds to ensure we provided a cohesive package. Our layouts for both the poster and the website are conventional form, which was partly due to the changes that we made after we gathered our audience feedback from our final feedback session and feedback from the teacher.
Thank you, Tia. It's very interesting to hear your thoughts on the topic. We also have a correspondent on scene, Amy Monk. Are you there, Amy?
Charlie, hi! Hi, I'm on scene to answer the question, what have you learned from your audience feedback? Audience feedback is a key component in improving media products, whether it's making it more cohesive and able to understand the narrative or improving elements in general to make it more professional looking trailer. We conducted many different means of audience feedback throughout the creation of our piece, coming up with an initial idea, evaluating our final portfolio of products. Something that was commented on by our audience after our first draft of the trailer was our choice of music. Initially, we had put 3 separate tracks to each part of the trailer, her being happy, then miserable, and then happy again. Although each track worked individually with its segment of the trailer, it made the whole thing feel very segregated, and it was therefore hard to try and find a way to link the song together smoothly. Therefore, as a result of this feedback, I set out to find a song which was instrumental preferably acoustic. But most importantly, change tone throughout the whole song. I eventually found a song which I thought fit perfectly. However, there were adjustments that needed making. Before the tone dropped, I had to cut out certain parts of the song. For example, a quick section of strumming because it didn't fit with the footage. Because parts had been cut out, I then needed to blend the two parts together by finding a pause that the new bit of music could start playing into. There were also parts of the song that I repeated, and the final gazebo scene, I gradually increased the volume of the music so that the trailer built. The new sound worked far better in our trailer, giving it a more cinematic feel. Back to you, Charlie.
So that's all we've got time for on What's Your News. Thank you to Amy, thank you to Tia, and thanks to me. Goodbye.